Cass, what is that?
It's a doorway to another world.
Another, like Narnia?
With Apocalypse World, the idea was what does the world look like without Sam and Dean? And so what we essentially settled on was something post-apocalyptic, with the apocalyptic being the biblical apocalypse.
And it's a place where evil can control that universe.
It's sort of what Pompeii looked like probably after Vesuvius covered it in hot ash.
It's arid, it's not fertile, nothing grows there.
It was excellent having a new reality to start designing costumes for.
On a set that is this big, it's very important to work very closely with all the other departments. In the end result, you have something that's seamless and believable.
Cass, what is this?
As I said, it's Earth. But this Earth is locked in eternal war between heaven and hell.
This war between, angels and demons, this war between archangels, Lucifer on one side, Michael on the other. And we started talking about like the idea of kind of war zones, kind of bombed out World War I battlefields and things like that, cranked up to an apocalyptic heaven-hell scale.
Whatever decent society there was there at one time is long since gone.
What's left are hunters and scavengers. It's just, and it's literally a God-forsaken world because God stepped away from that world as well.
So the metaphor really is, what is a world without the Winchesters?
Angels.
A world that doesn't have that is all about conquest and greed and chaos and complete disorder and selfishness is Apocalypse World.
What, are you gonna smite me? On my command? Oh, for the love of... No!
We didn't really have a firm idea on what it looked like. We went out to these sand pits. Then Jerry had ideas to put these pillars, which were just basically they look like giant angel blades.
How many layers of anthropology, of civilizations live under that sand. So it's a world of disappointment and failure.
It's a world you never saved.
It's wonderfully disturbing, gritty and a little dirty and metal and iron.
There's a church steeple sticking out of this sand. It's buried up to the top of the steeple. That under this sand is this lovely old traditional church. This used to be a place where there were pockets of decency, and that's all gone now and buried.
And it puts us in an energy in a different place that we don't understand, and it's fearful.
I never would have thought of 99% of this stuff. All the credit to the creation of that world, to those elements, goes to Jerry and Mark and Bob Singer. We've got people that just do an amazing job.
What the hell? Mary!
When you get a set like this, and especially when you're going into an alternate universe, everybody has to be on the same page. Our DP, locations, hair and makeup, costumes and props.
In the case of the Apocalypse World, the interesting challenge for that particular location was no matter what direction we shot, and there's a heavily forested area surrounding us. Being able to paint that stuff out and replace it with a background that's going to match, one, the environment, and two, tell the storyline of the expanse that this encompasses. So it's always a balance to keep things kind of in check, what we can accomplish, and still keep the quality of the show as high as possible.
Oh, come on!
One of the big elements in the script we're working on is Michael's lair. I couldn't stop thinking about the steeple and the church. They're all angels, right? I mean, Lucifer was an angel, Michael's an angel, so it's an angel war. And let's do it in a church. And maybe it's that church that's buried. Being a church means nothing, but being a really cool, decrepit Spanish church with a bell tower with an Iron Maiden hanging in it, with a broken Christ missing a limb in the foreground, that's cool. You know, this whole thing with the Iron Maiden, which is what Lucifer is hanging in, we designed that around a more open-ended look of an Iron Maiden.
It's a cage casket with spikes that dig into my body and keep me in a standing position. It does feel very claustrophobic. It forces me to be more still than I'm comfortable with as an actor, which is, I hope, a good thing.
It's a thing of beauty. If I shake it, it pierces Lucifer's skin.
The whole juxtaposition of looking past this broken Christ through this torn lath and plaster and seeing Lucifer in this suspended state right behind it, I consider it an installation piece, a real piece of art that tells a story.